Hello my friends, and welcome to Immortal Empires, the culmination of years of hard work and the coup de grace, the capstone monument of this trilogy. There are far too many things to show off in a single video. I'm not even going to try, and instead I'll highlight what I think will have almost limitless potential for campaigns, both modded and official, as we move deeper into Game 3. Endgame events are on the agenda in this one as we play Ungrim, the Slayer King, and you might notice it's only turn 24. At the moment, you have mostly full control over 6 or 7 different endgame scenarios through options in the main menu, but the earliest you can spawn them in is between turn 10 and turn 35. This particular one is called Vampiric Ascension, and I crank the scenario difficulty all the way up to 200, which is the highest it can go. Now, I have not played any of these endgame scenarios before. I have not seen them. I do not know exactly how they work, although I do have some details on the buffs they receive, because the devs told me, but I'm mostly going into this one with a blind eye. I don't even know if the minor vampire subfactions like Neferata are included in this coming Cataclysm. If they are, we're almost certainly dead, because Sylvania is directly to my west and Silver Pinnacle is directly to my east. I can no longer use the border of the map to protect me like I could in Warhammer 2, but yeah, this is going to be as big a surprise for me as it is for you guys as I sit down to record this. I've done everything I can to ready myself. I rushed all of Ungrim's quest battles, although I still need to do the Axe of Dargo. I got as much money as I could, as many items as I could. I'm saving up my oath gold until I actually see what the enemy armies look like. And then I know how to kit out my characters better. But this is going to be wild, and it should be a fun ride. So let's see what's up. Drums! Drums in the deep! The Zanganaz are coming. It's about as thematic as a campaign can possibly get, right? Undead hordes on our doorstep. Blood Knights, Graveguard, Terrorgeists. Dawi locked tight in their holds, taking as many down with them as they can before the darkness engulfs us. What I do know is that at least the main vampire factions are going to spawn in with full gold chevron, elite Doomstacks that are better suited for turn 150 than turn 20. And they cause plus 10 vampiric corruption map wide, have minus 50% recruitment cost and upkeep cost, plus 10% replenishment, and plus 20 leadership across the board. Strength Meter is probably going to go all kinds of wonky here. So I'm going to try and secure as much money and as many alliances as possible, because even though most of these dudes weren't my friend 2 turns ago, they're probably singing a different tune now once those shambling hordes are knocking on the doorstep. Unfortunately, we are the closest target to Vlad. He'd already doubted us before this all kicked off, so he's going to attack. You can already see him massing dudes at the border. Okay, so Neferata is not... Oh my god, look, oh my god! Look at those strength ranks. Look at that balance of power. I don't know how many armies that is, but methinks it's a lot. Because I've got a Doomstack here of Slayers, and it doesn't seem to matter much at all. So Drycha, you can be my friend if you want. Empire, hell yes. Let's get as much money from some diplomacy with them as possible. I can actually probably get a decent amount here. Please God, just give me so much freaking money. I'm gonna need it. Yeah, so we're going to do that with everybody. I don't think I need to show you guys all of this, but I'm actually kind of surprised the minor subfactions aren't included in Vampiric Ascension. Lymian Sisterhood isn't one of them, so I don't have to worry about my eastern border as much, which is good. Master of Spite in the Forge is going to be a big deal. Basically turns Ungrim into a little mini Mortis engine. So, hell yeah, get his melee defense high as possible and just tank in and amongst his Slayers. Frenzy, Rune of Fury on a bunch of lords can be good too. I only have 2 armies right now. A Master Rune Lord in Karak Kadrin, the Slayer Keep itself, and then Ungrim, who is dealing with the Red Eye Tribe, and Skarsnik, Crooked Moon, nasty little gits, down to the south. But he had to haul ass back as soon as he got the 10 turn warning notification. What else is important here? I would love to go Iron Warden's Tankard. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have pottery for a really long time. I'm not going to be able to get that. Regen on Ungrim would make him unkillable, even against really high-tier vampiric armies. God, I want that so bad. Liquid Fortification is so good. Munipsych is relevant for an Unbreakable Lord, of course, but Regen is everything. But we're not going to have that for a really long time. Like I said, I only turned 25. There's only so much I can do to get ready for this. I'm basically playing a cracked-out endgame event in the early game. So these kind of things, just from a modding standpoint, are going to be incredible. But if CA kind of expands on this kind of feature, it could be really cool if it lives up to what I'm expecting it to be. I'm going to recruit a bunch of Slayers here through the Regiments of Renown system, do whatever I can to get ready. But yeah, they're going to come from Waldenhof, and it's probably going to be 1 or 2 turns, and they're all going to be up my ass. I'm hyped. Let's get into it. It's so much worse than I thought it was going to be. There were armies in ambush stance that I didn't see. They were right on the edge of the border. The only army that was visible, that was closest, was in the settlement itself, and they would not have been able to attack Karak Kadrin from where they were. They don't have enough movement range, unless they're in forced march, and you obviously can't attack in forced march. There were so many more armies there than I realized, and they're already... I mean, they basically stopped me from recruiting. So, already not off to a great start, but that's alright. We're going to turn it around because Ungrim's coming in, and he should be able to reinforce. So, I don't think the other armies are in reinforcement range. I mean, it could be kind of a fun battle killing this first army, but I think it'll be, like, too easy. Killing this first wave is going to be pretty simple. Yeah, like that's a really powerful army, right? Like Silver Chevron, Graveguard, Blood Knights, Black Knights, Vargeist, Cryptors, Black Coach. But we're going to stomp it easily. Maybe we'll just slice it down a bit. Yeah, it could be fun to fight it. We'll show it. So we get a free surround off on the Vampiric army. Strigoi Ghoul King, level 21 on a Terrorgeist. I mean, he actually can't do anything against my army besides breath attack it. If he lands, he's dead in like 5 seconds flat. Dragonback Slayers, Giant Slayers. Like, my whole army is just freaking Slayers. Even I have a Trollamur Torpedo and some Thunderers. Like, that's a nightmare situation for him to fight against. And actually over here, we've got some choke points to defend as well. Not all this terrain is passable. So, the OG army coming out of Karak Kadrin, we're going to move up behind. I'm not too worried about them. I think probably only a few stragglers will decide to attack that element of the army. Ungrim's going to deal with the brunt, it looks like. But this is why we rush the Grudge Throwers, right? Like, their wave clear is going to be extremely important for killing all this Graveguard, which is pretty much the biggest threat, I think, to my Slayers. Even more so than Blood Knights and Vargeist and such. The Gold Chevron or Silver Chevron Graveguard with bonus for infantry. I mean, some of the armies I've already checked have like 50 melee defense, 41 melee attack without their BVI. Like, that's a huge problem to deal with, man, for Slayers. Now remember, playing as Ungrim, we do have the Journey's End passive, which means they cannot lose entities until I believe they're below 75% HP, which does keep their killing power relatively high in the early opening engagements. But I think the main strat, like for all, like every time we use Ungrim, is basically just throw him into the meat grinder solo up front and try to get them blobbed up around him as much as possible. Grudge Throwers are in range. Fire over the top of the hill. Let some of the Slayers and Miners take the opening charges. Use the Garrison. That's an important thing to remember as well. If you're using a Garrison army out in an open field battle, you can kind of use them to take the brunt of it so you're not losing real models, because they'll regen automatically. Even if they die, it doesn't really matter. But if I lose full units of Slayers from my pool, that does matter because that's a finite resource for sure. Spirit Leeches on Ungrim could not give less of a shit. There's a Fat Vat in there. Breath attacks coming in. Little Shriek. Killed a few. Don't think it's supposed to. Is that a bug? Alright, here we go. Blood Knights, yes, please. Black Coach, Blood Knights, please suicide yourself into my Slayers. Make my life easy for me. We're also not going to be cheesing Lightning Strike here either. I don't think I could have gotten to Lightning Strike even if I wanted to. I guess I could have rushed it and ignored literally everything else, but that would have been dumb and frankly would have made this video more boring anyway. I still slow on the Vargeist if they try to escape, but it looks like they just are... Yeah, they're just dead. That's what you get when you have 0 armor. So yeah, I'll try to kill my Grudge Throwers, but I don't think they're going to do much there. Dragonback Slayers are in a perfect position to kill them off quickly. Fat Bat's already dead. That's what happens when you have Slayers with 60 melee attack base before you even get to all their other buffs from Ungrim. Plus 10 bonus first large, plus... I think Ungrim gets plus 15, and then the rest of his Slayers get plus 10. They also get plus 5 melee attack, and it's not counting all their other... there's just so many ways for them to get improvements on their Slayers. And they regen like crazy. They'll die like crazy, but they regen like crazy after battles too. They're like undead in that way. So yeah, kind of as expected, brutal start for the vampire counts. But it's a 2v1, and this is not their strongest army, not by a long shot. So I'm expecting next turn this to get a lot more unpleasant. Rune of Speed, big time melee attack buff and an AoE. Should be the end of those Blood Knights, and Black Coach is still doing nothing back there. It's actually a pretty scary unit now. I got really substantial buffs. Sugar Ghoul King is being pretty smart. I mean, he could have just charged into melee, but he would have died. So hanging out away from Ungrim, who is an absolute freak right now, probably the right call. It won't save him. Thunderers and Trollhammer Torpedoes together will take down the Terrorgeist very soon, and that is going to be a relatively easy win. Unfortunately, we did have one Slayer. It looks like, ooh, yeah, 3 models for 2. No, get them out. Where are they? They might die. Yeah, those Slayers might die. But big time casualty replenishment for all the ones that are remaining, so should be ready for the next fight. So I did lose the Slayer unit, which kind of sucks. One thing you'll notice is that the Dead Rise Again has been buffed. I don't know if that's only for these armies or just in general, but I killed that Lord, and he actually still has part of his army, and the Lord is still remaining. So even though he crumbled out, he's back. Obviously need to get all this recruitment just done now, before the next wave comes. Full stack, we will run in the red. Not a huge deal. Have to build very differently for this playthrough too. Growth is irrelevant, right? We're not going to live long enough for it to matter if we don't invest in military infrastructure first. That's why we rushed the Grudge Throwers, got as many of those as we could. And early game dwarves are not rich. It doesn't come until further into the tech tree and once settlements are built up a bit more. I was thinking that might be a bug, but yeah, no, I confirmed with the devs that the Dead Rise Again has been buffed. So even though I killed him in the last battle and crumbled out, he did survive and kept some of his army with him. But the nice thing is that because of how Warhammer 3 works, you can actually sustain your economy really well just by killing enemy armies. And there are going to be plenty coming my way, throwing themselves onto the walls of Karak Kadrin, the Slayer Keep. So that will sustain me even though we are running in a deficit. The vampire economy be popping off. Sell the Zanganaz fangs like teeth to the greenskins. Get us some nice gold stocks that way. Another really cool thing about Warhammer 3 is when you're fighting these goddamn huge battles, you get way more XP than you did in Warhammer 2. So even though we're level 21 at level 26 now, or 22 at 26, I think once we fight 2 or 3 stacks in a row, they're all gold chevron. I mean, Ungrim's gonna level up like crazy. Stand Your Ground's probably good here. Already have Honored by Grimnir. Had to rush that Slayer tech naturally. None of my Grudge Throwers are gold chevron yet, so no point investing in that quite yet. Yeah, I think we go Scarred Vet, right? Just 8 more HP. Demon Slayer's not gonna help me here. Yeah, just more HP, and then go to the next part of the yellow tree to get Ungrim as good as I possibly can get. Hardened Armor, so I can choose depending on which stack I'm fighting against. And alright, next turn we're gonna get attacked. And now things get scary. I mean, there's a lot there, man. That's a lot of really high chevron Graveguard. And that second army, Millen von Drack, all gold chevron. And just a whole doom stack of Graveguard weapons in the first one. Black Coaches, Cryptors, Vargeist, some Elite Cav. No Mortis engines, which I don't think they would do very well against my army anyway because of the Trollhammer and Thunderer, but if I didn't have those, it could be a pretty nightmare situation maybe for my Slayers. This should be really interesting, and it's underway, which is where I want them. Could not ask for a better situation in what is a bad situation. I mean, it's not bad for Ungrim and the Slayers themselves. It's kind of what they want. It's kind of ideal scenario, actually. So many things that have the potential to outright kill them. And a glorious last stand. Grudge Thrower should have a field day here. One thing I do not like, though, and I've seen this in multiple campaigns now, is the AI has kind of gone back to trying to dodge your artillery. which means that whatever you're targeting will not really advance and will kind of just do the chimichanga shuffle as they approach. And that gets annoying because, one, it's just not what they should do. Like, if you're under artillery fire, running an S shape to try to dodge out of the way is the worst possible thing you could do because it means you're in the beaten zone for way longer. But just advance. But it also just looks stupid. And that wasn't how it worked at the end of Mortal Empire, so I would not be surprised there are going to be a few design things that rear their ugly head again that had been fixed at the end of Mortal Empires that will be annoying during the beta stage of Immortal Empires. But I think the artillery is going to feast here for sure with those Graveguard blobs. And with any luck, Ungrim might finally fulfill his Slayer Oath, which of course is his eternal turmoil. What the hell does he do if he dies? He then gives up on his other oath, which is to his people and as king. It's a difficult proposition for our ginger stunty friend. Speaking of ginger stunties, Vargeis are on the approach, and they've got big, scary, wiry pubes. If you have never done a close-up of the crotchal region of a Vargeist, you absolutely should. It'll unlock new worlds for you. You'll thoroughly enjoy it, I'm sure. You guys are freaks. Dude, I've seen... There's a new feature on YouTube where it highlights which part of the video you watch, and even on simple stuff like showing Sisters of Slaughter, it'll show spikes in viewership where you guys are trying to look at their butts and stuff. Y'all are crazy. Y'all crazy. You can't hide from me. The analytics will get you. Yes, please land on my Rune Lord. Please suicide yourself to my Slayers. This will be perfect. A Terrorgeist for my Mohawk Masters to slaughter. Okay, Corrupt Horrors are coming in waves now. And they're forced into choke point. Like, and I'm so glad we're fighting this in the underway. This could be so much worse on an open field battle. Ungrim doing what he needs to do. Back him up with the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Okay, Black Coach needs to die for sure. You notice I'm keeping most of my really wounded Slayers in the back, kind of just as a last line of defense, so I don't lose them. Because if they manage to stay alive, Ungrim will give them, what, plus 35% casualty replenishment? Stacked on top of all the other stuff I already have. They may want to die, but I don't want to give them that opportunity. Not yet. They have much more to do for me before they inevitably expire. Ooh, Rune Lord's kind of taking a beating, but I'm going to be able to finish off the Terrorgeist. That's definitely worth it. Taking 2/3 HP on him to just get rid of Strigoi Ghoul King. Because really the only threat to him, I think, unless they manage to break through my Slayers. Oh, he's dead. He's crumbled out. At that point, I'll just need to run him over to Ungrim, who is doing much better over on the other side, because he has 90 melee defense. Nice overlapping fields of fire into the Black Knights. Mortis Drain kicking off from Ungrim too, and that Master Rune of Spite. I haven't used the Forge in a while, so I'm sure I'm missing some items that would, and runes that would be really good here. I haven't fully invested in all that yet. We're holding. Hold the line, Dowie. Dowie. Keep shooting in. Look at all those Vargeist dead in my back line. Rune Lord is safe now. Rune of Wrath Rune on the blob. Send them to hell. Just rank after rank of Slayer ready to take the charge. Now, ideally, I would not be letting Slayers engage Graveguard frontally. It's not a fight they're going to enjoy against Gold Chevron ones, but I just have to commit some of them. We're going to lose Slayers here. There's nothing for it. Any victory with Slayers is going to be a somewhat Pyrrhic one. They're just not tanky. They're not survivable at all. Yeah, Rune of Speed. I think the Slayers on that side might win. With the Grudge Throwers firing in, and the leadership debuff from the Goblobber. Might be able to push them back on that side, even without Ungrim coming over to help. Definitely going to win over on this side with Ungrim for sure. Too much shooting, too much in reserve not to win this. And crumbling might be imminent for the Zanganaz. Someone please explain to me why Root Magic is so bad though. It's like, I can drop 8 Vortexes in a row with like every other faction in the game, but oh no, you cast one Rune of Speed and suddenly all of them are on a shared cooldown, like what that lasts for 120 seconds. Why? CA hates Dawi, confirmed. They're crumbling. They're all dead. They're all dead. 3 stacks done. And yeah, it looks bad. Like we lost men there for sure, but men, we lost Umge. No, we lost Dawi here for sure, but it's not gonna matter too much. I think most of those are gonna go back into the pool or just replenish their losses. As long as no more stacks attack on this turn, then this first wave is gonna be in tatters. Well, lost 1 Giant Slayer, lost 1 Gold Chevron Slayer. On the other side, well, they lost a lot more. How many Slayers overall? It looks like maybe 5. Yeah, 5 Slayers overall are done and dusted, and they had Chevrons. Makes me a little bit sad, but it's a bittersweet moment. They have gone to join the Ancestor Gods and Grimnir in the afterlife, and they will fight and slaughter demons in the void for the next several millennia, at least until Age of Sigmar. See you guys. You did good for me. You done good. More counts on the way. More undead marching on the Slayer Keep. Push them back. Kill them all. God will recognize his home. What I'm gonna do... Oh, look at the Moose. Look at Mooseyon's balance of power. Oh my god. As soon as we kill off these remaining armies here, which may be 1 more battle, that might be all that's required, we're gonna check diplomacy and see the balance of power and the strength. Yeah, wow. Caspar von Schwarzhofen. Level 26 Terrorgeist. Massive casualty replenishment. And the dead rise again, just triggering for like all these lords. So even when I kill them, and even when they crumble out, they don't really care. They're just back. So multiple battles needed to kill them off. Alright. We are in big trouble coming in with a steel chair. Okay. Is there anything I need to get immediately, or can we just fight this? I think we might just be able to fight this. PK Guard would be okay. Ulthor's Ranger is definitely good versus the large single entities and monsters. Ungrim got 4 levels from that battle, basically. HP, Foe Seeker, melee defense, I think is the play. He already hits hard. He already has huge bonus for large. I think just keeping him survivable and tanky. God, he's going to synergize so well with regen when we can finally get it. Even if we just get lucky with a healing item, anything that gives him some more sustainability. Ungrim's a monster, man. He's a great lord. Rune of Breaking, and then I guess strike the runes. Finish up Hardened Armor. Okay. I don't think I need to recruit anything yet. I think we finish off this first wave and then just see where we are. My bet is that because Vlad is going to be able to continue raising dead and creating his own armies, and they're getting supplemented by the endgame scenario, and because it won't end until I take their black magic centers, I think this will be never ending. Like, I don't think this campaign's winnable if you start an endgame scenario this early. Like, I don't have the ability to push deep into the heart of Sylvania. I can play defense. Not sure about attack, though. Okay. Here they come with that just god-awful, horrific SSAO. It makes me want to die every time I see it. It makes me want to vomit, man. Like, did no one play this game on snow maps in Shadow or desert maps in Shadow? Like, you can literally see the auras around. It actually works okay for the vampire counts, but it's obviously not intentional at all. Those shadows look so bad. You can see them from like 300 meters away. Just like fuzzy, gross, disgusting shadow aura around every unit in the shade. I've shown it in a couple replays in early access. Man, it's gross. I think they made it a little bit better at the end of Warhammer 2, or maybe like in the middle of it, but they never like fully fixed it, and it's so much worse in Game 3. Yes, attack Ungrim. I'm sure you'll be fine, Terrorgeist. Nothing could possibly go wrong. I mean, yeah, just use your Spirit Leeches on the guy with 40% spell resist, you know? What could happen? Yeah, he'll be fine. Yes, both attack my Slayers at the edge of their formation. It'll be great. So this is one thing that I'd probably like to see a little bit less of. I mean, it's helping me out here tremendously. The AI just YOLOing in their single entities to get freaking murdered by my gun lines. Like, oh no, you dove my grudge. Oh, camera work. Debug camera. Yikes. Yeah, just come in and attack my grudge stores while my Slayers kill you all, and then Ungrim 1v1's the Necrarch Lord and kills him in 5 swings. They really like trying to kill my Rune Lord with the Terrorgeist. Again, I don't think that's going to work out too well for you. Probably do some HP damage. I definitely need to get him more stacked up, because he doesn't have great melee stats yet. Direwolves coming around. AI has been good at flanking, though. We'll see what those Direwolves do. I bet you they're going to be able to do pretty good. Or at least get around my flank, anyway. Couldn't take on Ungrim, unsurprising. Trollhammers are... Zombie Dragon where? Zombie Dragon who? Blood Knights. Yep, Lord's dead. Rune Lord took some damage, but I don't think it's going to be pretty much unavoidable in all these scenarios. Even if I have Slayers just stacked up on top of him, he's a big enough hitbox that he'll get attacked no matter what. Where's the guy? Oh, there they are. There them Direwolves at. Yeah, see? Like, that's not bad at all from the AI. It's really not bad. Managed to get a charge of the Grudge Stars. We'll have to put them back on their cannons probably momentarily, artillery rather. And you can see the Grave Guard are taking a long time to advance, and it's because they're trying to dodge my shots. Which, yeah, again, not really my favorite thing. That used to be a problem in Warhammer 2. CA's decided that it's better if they just advance, and I would agree. They should just advance. Seeing Undead trying to dodge artillery is stupid as hell. And it's giving me more time to shoot them too. But they're into melee now. They're into base contact. And again, the Slayers of Kadrin will hold the line against the filthy Zenganaz. Well, some kind of cool music plays in the background. I don't know what it will be yet because I haven't edited the video at the time of this recording. Remember, this is just one of the many endgame scenarios, and you can make them spawn between turn 10 and turn 35. Should be a juicy Rune of Wrath and Ruin. But, I mean, in terms of just making challenging campaigns for yourself, playing around with the modding scenarios, like, because I bet modders will be able to do some crazy things with them too. I don't know if that functionality existed in Game 2 for modders. It might have, because they've been able to do scripts anyway, but I mean, this is just really freaking cool, dude. It really is. Just like from every single aspect. Like the huge lore boner right now, right? Like Ungrim dealing with literally limitless hordes of top tier undead. I don't know what level I'm going to be after this, but it's going to be like, that was 2 more full stacks. And he was already about to hit level 26. So in 2 turns, I'm going to probably end up getting like 8 or 9 levels. He's probably going to be close to 30 now. Eric Steinhoff dead. Casper von Schwarzhofen dead. We are in big trouble. Not such big trouble anymore, are we? We're holding. But it's only the first wave. And that's what's crazy. I'm really going to be curious to see what that balance of power shows. 385 losses, 3,000 killed. Take the money at every single available opportunity because we're running in the red, we're running in the deficit. Ungrim. Well, Reynold Geldrick is... Okay, that Lord died, good. Level 14 for my... 29 for Ungrim. You got 4 levels from that. So you got 4 levels in a row. Back to back to... Like, yeah. Level 29, level 27 with Ungrim Ironfist. Crazy. Lorgrimlings, oh, that's going to be huge. That's going to be a really useful unit here. But I think I should maybe focus more on just getting more armies, right? Let's check diplomacy. The big reveal. Where is Sylvain? Oh. Oh my god, you got... I mean, it doesn't really surprise me, but that's so funny. We barely moved it. Like, you can see a tiny, tiny, tiny sliver of green. So they've got another, like, 12 stacks probably in Castle Drakenhof marching their way over. So that's just what a taste of the nightmare. That's so good. Zacharias von Karstein will be next to fall to the Axe of Dargo. But in terms of completing this campaign, probably never going to happen. It's just going to be limitless battles. And I don't know that I have a way to snipe out the capital either. Everyone's grudgeoning. Maxed out Book of Grudges. I'm having fun with it though. So yeah, that's just one of the 6 or 7 endgame scenarios. There will be more. I'll see if I can get any more fun ones to show off to you guys. This is fully maxed out. CA may work in some ways to end it so that if you just keep killing bodies and can't make headway, that maybe like it kind of withers and dies over enough time so that they can't just literally keep drowning you forever in perpetuity. But this is really, really freaking cool. Hope you guys enjoyed. More Immortal Empires coming very soon.